Hey guys, welcome back. It's Brandon.
Hey, it's Carrie.
Today we wanted to talk about the idea of the Trojan horse and what we are doing here and how we came to the conclusions we're coming to. And that started off with remembering who we are. We came in, we wanted to awaken, so we've awoken to the awareness levels that we need to be. And what does that truly represent? And that is the Trojan horse that is helping this place dissolve itself, if you will, in a sense of remembrance.
Okay, yeah, that's the sense of remembrance is really tied to our whole purpose for being here. You know, in Greek mythology, there was the Trojan horse that was given as a gift, and the people opened up the gates and readily received it in there. And then that night, all the soldiers broke out of the Trojan horse and apparently won the battle. But our situation, I think, is similar to that, to where we contain the Trojan, or we are the Trojan horse, and what we have within us, they don't want out, but they have already received us into their kingdom, thinking that all we are is just their batteries. And so what's going to happen at the right time is going to be, my guess is some kind of frequency comes out, and then what is in us is on a timer, and it's going to come forth.
I attribute it to, there's a video on YouTube a lot of you guys have probably seen called The Kingdom, where there's all these people that are asleep and have cubes around their heads, and there's the puppet masters on strings who are like the bankers, the lawyers, the doctors, all trying to control everybody. And there's this one guy who's kind of walking through it, and he's battling his own demons, and he gets to this sword and a stone, and he goes to lift it, and once he does, he reclaims who his true essence originally was, and then you start to see everybody else pop off. And I kind of view it like that. I think, Carrie, you're right. We are going to have something, the event that everybody talks about, is it, something in the sky? Is it a false invasion? Is it nuclear launches, like civil war, like all these events that they never tell you what it actually is? But what I think it is us coming in, like Carrie said, on a timer and being released to help the other ones find the way home.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. I'm going to look at it a little bit differently. I think that the activation is going to activate the things that are already within us, and it may well activate our individual collective selves. In other words, the shattered shards that have been scattered throughout all the various timelines, or whatever they want to call them, densities, dimensions, as we start to call them home, maybe that's the cue, and it opens a very brief portal, hole, or something, so that they can come through and reconnect, so that we return to our own state of holiness. And so I think that the event will be how it affects us. Now, the rest of the world, it may be for them an extremely destructive event. It may be the demons or whatever from the pit of hell, those energies rising up and acting through their puppets even more strongly. I mean, it could take effect. The same event can have multiple applications. I think we are in error when we assign only one way to anything, whether it be a word or an event or anything, because we've got to remember this is duality, and not only duality, but it's got probably more than just two versions on everything. And so I think that as we keep awakening or becoming more aware of whatever this event is, and being watchful and aware of when it happens. But I think for them, they've received these our lights, I guess, as our divine sparks, as the Trojan horse, thinking that we were merely batteries. And probably the vast majority are exactly that. because the programming or the lithia, which means forgetfulness, has been so effective. I know in the Bible there's a passage where the God is saying that I will cast all your memories into the sea of forgetfulness. Well, that word in the Greek is lithia. And so what Yeshua taught was that he will send you, it translates as the spirit of truth, but it's not that at all. It is the spirit of alithia, which means the unforgetting, which means a spirit of remembrance, which exactly is what we're doing. And to remember something is not just to recall it, but it is to reconnect the broken shards, the broken pieces. Remember is to become a member again. And so I think that's when, I think it's going to be pretty fantastic. But I think that we're here, they think we're just batteries. And so that's how they treat us. They drain us. And so for years we've all been in that. And now we've gotten to the point where we realize what's going on. We're starting to shut that down and reconnect with our own inward self. And until the time when we get recalled home. And the more that we develop nostalgia for true home, which there is no darkness there, there is no evil there, there's no need for division or split vision or split anything, because everything there is whole. And we have an outpouring of constant creativity as far as I'm concerned, and that can manifest in a majority of different ways or variety. But we'll hear that frequency when we get called home, but we'll also hear whatever the frequency or the timer that is already pre-built into our system, not necessarily their encapsulation of us in their meat suit, because that's like an insulator. It's designed to prevent us from being affected by the timer. So if it doesn't come from the outside, then it must come from the inside. And so what they don't know is that within our own divine spark, whatever you want to call it, is our own timer, that it's a fail-safe. And so I think we're here to recollect our own self in our multitudinous, fractalized ways. And those things, we may be talking to somebody that has a piece of our soul or our light in them. And that's why we recognize so readily some people that are from the light, that have, or are from lit souls, they have lit souls in them, and that has been split and shattered again into tiny fragments. And so I think we recognize those things in others that are like ourselves. And so in a sense, we could be speaking to someone who's got a piece of, whatever my higher soul or my higher light, not my soul, is. Maybe Brandon or my grandson has a piece of the same one that I'm cut from. And so we all just have different names and different perspectives on things, because with wholeness comes variety. With singularity comes sameness. It's the whole, mindless, unaware, day-to-day grind of things. But anyway, so they've accepted us into their system, so we're here. And I think it is that we're on timers. We reawaken to our own self. We hear that call to return home. Something happens. It triggers that reconnection completely, and either we recollect our little pieces or, something, I don't know, of the light that's been shattered, and then I just think we disappear from their purview. We may still be here, but they won't be able to see us or sense us at all. We'll be of a totally different nature and character. You can only see and interact with things that are like you. And so that's why when we hear things that don't jive with what's inside of us, it's like scratching your nails down a chalkboard or something. But and that would be our exit cue. I don't know that it's something that we mindfully do. I hereby exit, and I'm zipping through the sky. I think it's going to be that we just go. It's because of who we are.
It's like a blink of an eye.
Absolutely, it is, and that's what it will happen in a moment, in a twinkling, or the blink of an eye, is what it says. And so, here's the kicker: without us, their kingdom falls, because the ones who do remain, who are of the lit soul, who have refused to wake up all of this time, who have totally shut down by their own decisions. Mm-hmm. Basically, that's where we've got to understand and learn to hold things loosely, is because they've made those choices. They wanted they believed the error. They didn't bother to test it. They were comfortable with the information they were given. They were being fed slop, and they readily consumed every last bit of it and loved every minute of it. That is a choice. That is giving consent. And so it's not that things are necessarily totally just imposed on us. They do try it. But these souls that remain have consented to remain on some level, and whether it's partaking of the fruit from their trees or whatever. So I think our thing here is to...
That reminds me of the scene from, Percy Jackson, where they're all in this like casino and they're all eating these lotus flowers, and they're all partying and gambling and this and that. And there's one Percy who's like, he snaps out of it and he's like, guys, we got to get out of here.
But right before he snapped out, what happened?
Oh gosh, it's been a minute.
He heard the voice of his dad.
Oh, yeah.
Perseus, you must wake up. Don't eat the flowers, or something like that.
Yeah, because it puts you in a trance.
Yeah, and so it was his inner voice that said, don't do this. You need to quit. And so then he started refusing to participate. And so he was no longer bound by that covenant. And so then he was able to encourage the other ones. To
help them, the ones that wanted to be helped, the ones to listen.
Yeah, and so, but what he told them was the thing he remembered, but he heard it on the inside first. Mm-hmm. It wasn't an outer voice. They heard an outer voice, and they believed. And so this reminds me of the passage in the New Testament where the Jesus is talking, and he says, blessed are those who do not see and yet still believe. Mm-hmm. It's that inner, very deep knowing, even if we're not totally in touch with it. I think those will be the ones that when they hear what we have to say, because of the event that will probably impact them very negatively, it's intended to harm them, but I think that it will, for some, wind up doing good and waking them up. But the spirit of aletheia, of truth, is the spirit of unforgetting. It's a spirit of remembering who we are so that we can be remembered. We can be plugged back in to A, our own self, and then B, become members again of our own home far out beyond this place.
Absolutely. And that leads me to not salvation, but that we are on a salvage mission to, one, wake up ourselves and get ourselves out of here, but also get those that seek further meaning in things and know that there is more coming from within them that says, I'm not satisfied. And those are the ones that we're looking to help and try and get the message out to. So guys, please share, like, subscribe. The channel's been growing pretty quickly, and it's been awesome having people on the panels and the chats with friends. And Carrie and I are going to continue to do our thing here. And if you want something discussed or you have questions or thoughts, just put them in the comments, and let's expound on that. And we are stronger together. So until next time.
Bye.